There you go. The bot has sorted itself out. We shouldn't be that far away from going. Hello, Saeed. Looks like we're getting 16 or 17 to do this one. The real question is who's winning today. So obviously you've still got the title fight going on between Mitchell and BR4, both at the top of the screen, 16 in tier 3 as well. Seems to be everyone's getting 16 at the moment. Also looks like it's going to be Alfa versus Ferrari in the constructors battle as well. We've got a few. We've still got that to go. Hop on the can't right now, mate. Does it look like I can go on the? You're not done, Finn, today. I've just watched you DNF. I think I give you. I'll be kind. I give you 10 laps. I give you 10 laps. Prove me wrong. I say it's Saudi Arabia, so the only track I'll admit that I'm wrong is is Saudi Arabia. He is rather good at it for an odd reason. So that's the championship. 10 points split in first and second. 55 split in first and third. 4 races to go. Bambino's not out of it, but he's got to get a move on. I hope for the top 2 to start coming together. As for constructors, it's not over between the top 3 teams in constructors. Haas, for Alfa Romeo and Ferrari. The Ferrari powered engines apparently doing well in this tier. Hey, maybe this might be the week. Just might be the week that takes Mercedes off the bottom. And Rigo take Mercedes off the bottom of the constructors championship in tier 1. Maybe. Or is that wanting too much? But yeah, we're still we're still trying to sort out a particular problem right now, and that allowed me to go and get up both and Rigo die at turn 1 in a collision against each other. Yeah, that would be more fitting. You are aware your competition for the 19 point. You need 19 points over Mieszko. I think you can find a way. If you could drive normally, I think you might be able to, just a hunch, gain 19 points. Given that in the last few weeks, Tier 1 has been decided by late safety cars, I would not at all be surprised that you managed to make those 19 points. I think you can do it today. All it takes is for a couple of mistakes not from used to, and you should be in with a shout. Mitchell needs Zalu to start doing something because Zalu's been. You would love a duo in the comms room. I'm not against doing a duo comms session. I'm absolutely not against that. But until someone else approved to do this with me, then I don't think that's going to happen. So we've got 4 races left of the season, all on the Asian continent. Well, Asia and Middle East, realistically. And well, you've got Abu Dhabi now, and then Singapore, followed by Saudi Arabia, and then Japan. So we've ended the season on Suzuka. So interesting choice. To include Abu Dhabi on the calendar, I'm quite surprised that Abu Dhabi isn't there for the end. We're actually going. Well, here we go. I'm going to go and get up the comms information, the dashboard, etc., etc. However, qualifying, here we go. Tier 1, the top dog going at it in this league. I don't need to put telemetry on. Tyre, everyone on softs, obviously, because that doesn't change now. It looks like Alu's going to be the first one out, so we're going to watch the Ferrari. Let's see what kind of time the Ferrari is going to be able to put up in a bid to try and help his teammate. His teammate, which has a 10-point gap in both championships at the moment. The constructors, him and, well, Alu and Mitchell working together against BR4 and Heisenberg in 9th. Well, 9th at the moment, but that's just where they are in respect to where they joined the lobby, not where they've done for laps. But yeah, 10 points in both championships, split 1 and 2. The gap could extend by the end of the day. It could also swing in the complete opposite direction. We'll see where we are by the end of the night. And yeah, there's a few points on this track that will really catch you out if you're not paying attention. I think the easiest one of them to point out would be turn 2 and 3 and the hotel. Those parts, one deck can and will catch you out if you get them wrong. But here we go. Alu's going to set the benchmark for the day. He's on the first qualifying lap of the session so far. He's gone through the first sector as well, and someone's broke their front wing already. The Williams. The hairpin is I don't know. I don't think it's that much of a odd one. When you've got some points of this track, turn 2 and 3 in particular race is going to catch everyone out because they're going to be doing it flat here in qualifying, and then they're going to go into the race, and it's going to make them slide around if they do try to take it flat. I don't know. Actually, the hairpin is just what you can judge of it. Like, there's genuinely hard parts of the track, and then there's obviously error. There are people that can make places where people can make error. Probably depth perception in this one, and throttle, when to put the throttle on. And now they're up to the line at a 24-7. Jagged without the session entirely. Who is the one coming up to the line now? Yalo on a lap. 24-5. There's a Alpine behind him. And there's Sven. 24-1. The Mercedes going toward the end of the lap now. Looking to put himself on provisional pole. Yellow flag. And it is going to be on provisional pole, sorry. 23-8. It's another 3 tenths. Everyone seems to be going down in just about 3 or 4 tenths, 10th increments. Bloodwave there on a 24-2 into 4. Poly Orange 24 flat enough for second. Heidelberg 24-166 enough for third. Ishmael 24-2-9 enough for sixth. What about Mitchell? Mitchell's invalidated, so his lap's not going to matter for a lot. Mieszko, 24-9, puts him the lowest of the times at the moment. So, Mitchell and Bialforo both invalidated their laps. The person that has been... Mieszko's got it stuck in the first exit of the first corner. And we get to see, is Mitchell doing an outlap here? Let's have a look. Not an outlap here, an in-lap. Or is he going for it? Not entirely sure, but I guess we're about to find out. Still people looking to set laps at the moment. People coming into the pits as well. I think Mercedes... just jumping into the pit is going to do that. There's a couple more coming around to the pit now. That's going to end their timeout on the track. BR4 also came into the pits, obviously just willing to discard that pair of tyres. Well, that set of tyres. Mitchell's coming in as well. So that means every single person is not actually setting a better time than they were before. And one of the Mercedes has just come back out. So watch Alu here. He's only a 10.5 down, which indicates he's probably on a fast lap. Still a tenth slower than his best time. And well, that's the end of that lap. Alu just spins it on the hairpin. So I guess what Jack has been saying is going to bring a little bit of truth at the moment. So we're going to watch Rigo's outlap followed by Mildred's. Well, Rigo's outlap and then flying lap followed by the rest of Mildred's lap after that point. A couple of people looking like they're getting ready to head back out. I think that's Rigo's teammate, Terminator in the Mercedes getting ready to go back out. It is, and I think that's Sven as well. No, it's PSV that's going back out. Right, here comes Rigo's second attempt at putting up a lap. And he's going to start now. He goes into the first corner. I'm actually going to turn on telemetry. In fourth, shifts up to fifth, and puts in a wall. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. That's just clear case. He's lost the rear going through turn one. Maybe a little bit too much curb. I'm going to take a drink a minute because my voice decided it wanted to crack up a little bit there. So we're actually going to watch Millsy's lap, who's managed to keep it in check. Going through the first sector, unlike the Mercedes in front of him. 17.5 through the first sector. Let's see how competitive Mildy can be this week. Obviously, having that last lap blunder in Monza that handed Mitchell the championship lead over BR4. And also handed Mitchell the win in Monza. And then got a penalty for hitting Joe as well, who was in the race last week, and dropped all the way from second to eighth. So he's looking to rectify a first week marred by a lap of mistakes, and then a second week marred by a lap of mistakes as well. So it is entirely possible that he is on a redemption arc for the final third of the season. He's going to go through, well, go into the final corner now. Someone's made an absolute hash of that in turn 1. Goes around the final corner now. Middle D, what time is he going to put up? Is it going to be representative? It's 24-1. It's enough for 6th. And that's about it. I'll go and watch the lap of the current pole sitter. With just under 9 minutes to go, sorry. He's doing a quicker lap at the moment. Ever so slightly quicker lap at the moment, but quicker nonetheless. Oh, a little bit of a slide on the car there, coming out the chicane up towards the hairpin at the beginning of Sector 3. He is a 10th and a half up. So he's looking to improve himself to around a 23.7, maybe a little bit better even, if he can get Hotel right here. Goes through the third sector now, gets on the curb, keeps the car in check, goes a little bit deep, but not deep enough to invalidate the lap. Goes around the final corner, is going to set a quicker lap, but how much quicker? It's enough for 23.58, so it is quite the quick lap. Bambino in the process 23.9. Paulie Orange wow, 5.5 tenths clear of his other lap at the moment, which would indeed put him into provisional pole if he goes through Hotel up to, stayed in third gear through those couple of corners up to 4th, quick short shift, and then able to keep it valid up to 6th around the second to last, up to 7th, and then into the final corner, brings it down, going to set a quicker lap, but by how much? 23.4 for Paulie Orange, puts him on provisional pole right now. Ishmael did a 24.1. See what Heidenberg's doing. It looks like maybe a little bit of a visual glitch on the side of the screen there. One of the Ferraris is going a little bit slow. And pulls off to the side as well. We can watch Heisenberg continue on through his lap. Goes through the final couple of corners, looking to improve on his 24.1, sorry. It looked like BR4 did a 23.9, which is immediately beaten by his teammate, 23.7. And maybe, just maybe, Heisenberg might be one to look out for today. PSV, 24 flat as well. Yalo coming through the third sector now. Mitchell's in the pit. Alu's on a lap. Like Paulie Orange is on an in lap. Not entirely sure what Mieszko's doing behind here. Oh, and there goes the horse. He spun it round. Yalo has put it round. He's not quite hit a wall. Mieszko's invalidated his lap. I don't think Alu's going to do an awful lot to go quicker here and invalidates in the process. I think that's everyone's second go around. Heidenberg's lap is slower. BR4's lap is slower. Bambino is looking like doing a decent lap, but I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be anything worthwhile. No, it's far slower, I think. It also should be invalid from that, but looks like track limits there isn't going to be too much of a factor. PSV's invalidated his lap. Is Rigo out? And Rigo's out on track. Whether or not this is a flying lap, we can see in a minute. As he's about to go through the final corner and over the line. It is a flying lap. It's a 23.993. So it is enough for 6. That means we're 6 people into the 23s now. PSV comes into the pits. Ishmael on an out lap. The Mercedes coming out to... not coming out, sorry. Mercedes is just Rigo doing an in lap. If anything, it was the exact opposite of what I was about to say. Looks like people left, right and centre breaking their front wings. And yeah, Rigo's coming in. Ishmael's out on track now. He's going to get a good chunk of space on his own. Someone else is coming out onto track now as well. Might be Mitchell, actually, knowing that he hasn't got a lap so far, and he quite frankly needs one. Is it Mitchell? Yeah, it is Mitchell. Mitchell, the only guy without a time that's still in the actual session. He currently sits in 15th. Jaguar out of the session entirely. 24.105 for Ishmael at the moment. My timing screen was a bit glitched there. I was under the impression it was on an outlap. Got a couple of people actually on outlaps now, Mieszko and Mitchell. Two of the guys currently on the track. Continue on monitoring what's going on with Ishmael until we see Mitchell go around to try and do his lap. BR4 currently sitting with a 23.925 in 4th place. So the current championship leader's got to get something down. He's got to get something posted. Otherwise, he's handing a crucial advantage this week over to the rival in the Alfa Romeo. We'll watch Mitchell lap in a minute. I'm just watching the final sector of Ishmael here. See what he's able to put up, if he is indeed putting something up. He is. Going over the line now, he's 120, 21, 22, 23, 23.8 is enough for 4th. So there's a BR4 dropped down another place. And everyone and anyone's out on an outlap right now, and they're all bunching each other up. They all need to get out of the way. Well, Alu clearly wanting to do a tow for his teammate. Not sure how much that's going to help Mitchell, but Mitchell will take anything he can possibly get right now. And he comes down into the 3rd sector, so 52.9. It looks like it's a good sector. Everyone's on outlaps now. Outside of Mitchell, Mieszko, Ishmael, qualifying, I think, might as well be over. Mitchell's going to come through the final sector now, does well not to invalidate. He's going to go around the final corner. If he could keep it in check, he might be on a good lap here. 22, 23, 23.3. And well, that's your benchmark. Can anyone beat it? That's the real question. Can anyone beat that benchmark now? The marker has been laid down by the Ferrari. And now others have got to go and catch. It looks like Bambino is going to be the first one to do it. It looks like Mitchell's going to try and repay the favour to Alu with a slipstream down the straight here. See if he can bolster Alu's position quite a few numbers. As Bambino is out in front of him, looking to be the first one to take aim at Mitchell's time. Ferrari gets out of the way now if he's tried to help his teammate all he can. And Bambino just invalidated his lap, so it could be entirely possible we see him start to tumble down the pecking order here. Alu not quicker through the 2nd sector. Maybe something went wrong with the tow, but Alu's lap not seemingly improving at the moment. And he goes through the final couple of corners now. Trying to get something out of this. Someone spanning the final corner. Alu did beat his time. Jumps up to 10th, and Swen's not beating him. And someone else has binned it as well. There goes the other Alpine. We see Swen come down now. Yarlow over the line is a 24.2. It's not quicker. There goes Alfa Romeo. BR4 over the line. 23.5 isn't enough. Mieszko starts last. There's Melody and Bloodwave having a something. And Rigo's coming into the pit, so unless Paulie Orange has something to do with it, he does! He steals it at the depth for 23.353. Steals it at the depth. Puts himself on pole here at Abu Dhabi. Steals it from the Ferrari at the end. And we've got a McLaren and a Ferrari on the front row. And I guess it's Advantage Championship leader again. 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Bloodwave for Mildy. So Mildy goes to the back. This is like a foot-long sub on a Sunday afternoon. I've never heard that one before. Deadly serious, I've never heard that expression before. But yeah, the championship protagonists, second and fourth in the favour of the Ferrari. But that's the top three split by less than a tenth. Everyone in the top 14 split by less than a second. Even God, actually, yeah, top 14 all split by less than a second. Mieszko and Jaguar, the only two outside of that range. But we might have an interesting race here if so many people are so close. The real question is, how many incidents, if any, happen at turn 1? Oh my God, voice break. Terminator says in before I crash turn 2. No, that would not surprise me at this point, lad. Maybe you can actually capitalise on your third. Or are you saving that till Saudi Arabia later on in the season? There we go. We're about to set ourselves ready for the race itself. 11 seconds. Until everyone's lined up on the grid. Get a formation lap and there we go. So, going down the order as we go through this formation lap. So you've got the McLaren on pole, number 1, Paulie Orange, who has won a couple of races here before, looking to make it a trifecta. In his debut season here, that would be quite the achievement in Tier 1, do a trifecta of wins in Season 1 of your in racing. Here anyway. You've got the championship leader sitting second. Has a 10-point gap on BR4. And looking to extend that today. In third, starting the second row. Looking to actually capitalise on a good qualifying for once instead of DNFing very early on. Then you've got the second piece of the puzzle for the championship. In BR4, currently starting 4th. And has to get something done over the next couple of races to stop Mitchell extending that gap as he looks to try and take home a championship for the first time. Then he's got his teammate Heidenberg in 5th as the Alfa Romeo look to go after that 10-point lead that Ferrari currently have in the Constructors' Championship. You have Ishmael currently sat in 6th. Do we fill out the 3rd row? Bambino in 7th. Rigo in 8th. PSV in 9th, the reserve. And that looked like Heisenberg, and someone else has just had an absolute mishap from their formation lap. So you've got Alu in 10th, the final piece of the Constructors' puzzle. And Swen in 11th, who did well in Tier 2, hasn't really lived up to the name in Tier 1, but I thought that was expected at the beginning of the season. Bloodwave 12th, looking to capitalise on the last couple of races. Yarlo 13th, Mieszko 14th, Jaguar 15th, and Millsy 16th after a 5-place grid penalty. And here we go. There's 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go in Abu Dhabi. Who's getting a good start? It looks like the Ferrari in the back there has got a great start. The Ferrari in the front has got an awful one. BR4 getting up into 2nd after the first corner, and has done that pretty nicely. And it's roles reversed between the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo now. Paulie Orange 7.5 tenths clear already. BR4 2nd. Oh, the Red Bull of Ishmael almost sending it there on the Ferrari. That could have almost caused a quite the ruckus. Currently in 3rd, Mitchell 4th. Everyone going to go straight in a train all the way down the long back straight here, Abu Dhabi. It looked like Heidenberg and Ishmael are going to go toe-to-toe at the moment, as Heidenberg looks to fend off Bambino in the Haas, trying to do something. Probably has just the Constructors to save at this point. Maybe a little bit too deep away from the 2 at the front. You've got Bloodwave and PSV going at it. Through the hairpin, and there goes the Alpine, and there goes the McLaren as well. They both go round on the exit of the hairpin. And there was a warning in chat earlier about it, and well, I guess that's come to fruition. Maybe not the hardest point of the track, but one that's clearly causing the most problems. Seems like people want to get on the throttle too quickly, and patience is a virtue around a track like this. You've BR4 1.3 seconds behind Paulie Orange already, as that gap between 1st and 2nd is growing ever further, as is trying to close down BR4, and when DRS eventually does come in at the end of the lap, that might be one way that he does it. Mitchell's got to make something happen against here. Yellow flag in sector 1 into McLaren, and I assume that means he got a broken front wing. He actually doesn't look like he has one. I'm going to have a look. Doesn't look like he actually has any sort of damage yet. Losing time rapidly to BR4 here. 0.3 of a second in the last couple, in that last chicane. As BR4 looks to break that DRS early, try and solidify himself in 2nd place. Bambino and Alu going at it. It looks like Alu's going to come out on top of that one, as the Haasers are dropping back a little bit more. And Alu back within DRS range of Heidenberg. So that Ferrari versus Alfa Romeo might be back on in the next lap or so. It would have been until Alu'd lost about half a second, 1.6 seconds now, splitting that Ferrari and that Alfa Romeo before that Alfa Romeo takes that corner so horribly wrong and loses a bunch of time there on the Red Bull in front of him. And DRS might be one of those things that comes at a premium in this race at this rate. But still, as we go, with DRS is about to be open down the straight here. BR4 doesn't have it, 1.4 seconds. It's going to leave him possibly vulnerable to attack from Erminator and Mitchell behind. If Erminator can do something, he can't, he's too far back. Still got DRS zone right now as well, so second dose of DRS might be able to help her make something actually stick here on BR4. He is closing it in, he's within a quarter of a second, within 2 tenths, pulls alongside, or pulls to the outside, sorry, tries to pull alongside. BR4 closes the door rather early. Bambino and Alu going side by side here. The tyres in Alu's favour. We're actually going to have a look at that now. And so a couple of people starting the hards, one on the softs. And it looked like Bambino's going to get that move done. They're still going to go too wide, and the door has been shot on Alu now. Looked like Red Bull and the Haas of Yellow Ron's actually going to try and get themselves involved as well. Bloodwave goes extremely deep into the corner. Yellow flag in sector 3, Mieszko, as he crashes on the second to last, and there's an Alpine going very wide there as well. So Sven losing that position out to Rigo. It looked like a couple of people here. Yellow span. Yellow did spin in that four-way, and didn't exactly fare him too well. Dropped to 14th now as we see a yellow flag in sector 1 for a Haas, and that's yellow again. His tyres must be burning at this point. Let's have a look. Is Sven going to be able to do anything? DRS on the car in front of him? I doubt it. Bloodwave looking to try and get something on that Ferrari. He's going to pull himself alongside that. Ferrari's going to have the inside line for a moment. And it's going to come together there. Or it looked like they came together a little bit, but Alu's going to hold him back for just that little while longer. I'm going to pull alongside again, this time through the hairpin, both on medium tyres. And they're going to go back and forth here, Bloodwave and Alu. And Alu's got the inside line, so it's possible that Alu might get a good exit here and possibly the position, but no, it's gone the other way, and Bloodwave got that move done in quite the nice fashion there. Yellow flag in sector 3, and the Red Bull's gone round. Ishmael's gone round, and that's a yellow flag. And that Red Bull's got to get moving. Oh, we might have a safety car here. It does in fact get moving. Mitchell closing in on them, who's not giving up on his fight with BR4 yet, who had absolutely zero answers to Paulie Orange up front. Paulie Orange quite literally walking this race at the moment. Yellow flag in sector 3, the Haas again, and Yellow is not having a nice time. And this time, within half a second, is going to be able to get close enough into the chicane. Maybe not quite. He looked at it. He definitely... Oh, what happened here? BR4 had a mistake for sure. And he gets passed by Erminator in the chicane. And that might leave him open to attack himself. And BR4 now going to go side by side through the hairpin. The inside line didn't work too well for Alu on the last lap. Is it going to work well for BR4 here? As he is going to squeeze Erm a little bit there. And the collision between the two might open the door for Mitchell to try and take that place off Erm. BR4 might not have been entirely being fair with the space that was given there. But at the same time, I'm not sure he was really needing to give any. He might have been a slightly late charge there from him. But either way, BR4 comes out on top of that, and well, it's gone exactly how the Alfa Romeos would have wanted it. DRS on the next straight will bring him back together again, though, and you see one mistake already from BR4 go unpunished from that Mercedes. Well, momentarily was punished, but then BR4 got it back relatively quickly, and Erm's not even close this time. Is BR4 going to be able to hold it through the chicane this time? He is. So that means Erm isn't going to be able to take a position, and is going to have to actually probably do more defending from behind than he is attacking up front. 3.1 seconds now, the gap to the leader. And Paulie Orange under no challenge whatsoever. Seeing this as just a cakewalk, and there's your first DNF of the race. Yellow in the pit, so we're not going to get anything from it. But the Haas's day just never really got going, and now it's down to Bambino to realistically keep them within an arm's length of this Constructors. And not let that 40-point gap grow all that much. within half a second, or was within half a second momentarily. Heidenberg behind Mitchell, 2.2 seconds, and Bambino further 2.5 seconds back from the Alfa Romeo. So it looks like behind this trio is quite the gap, and a slow forming train further back. Alu can get into that. We've got if Alu can get into DRS range, we'll have a train from Bambino all the way back to Mildy in 11th. We go for the chicane now, and we are exactly as we were before the last time, when we went in last time, but we aren't further down the field. The Bloodwave is going to get past Bambino here. Bambino's going to have a chance to have a fight back immediately. Is he going to be able to take advantage of it, though? He's going to be able to pull alongside, and they're going to go to the hairpin alongside each other. We've seen mixed results as to which is better, the inside or the outside line, when they go side by side. And I think this is a second win for the inside line, for the outside line into the hairpin and inside line into the following corner. And yeah, Bambino's going to get that place here, that place back from Bloodwave. Up to 60 goes, as that fighting should bring Alu back into this. Oh, there goes Bloodwave! There goes Bloodwave! Too much throttle! Way too much throttle! And in the process, Ishmael's retired from the session, is spinning the same place again. That's the yellow flag in all three sectors. So that might be a safety car. No, it's a virtual safety car. So he's going to neutralise the race, not make it more interesting. And there's 2 DNFs down. Bloodwave just took a spin. No damage from it, though. We got it on the glorious camera angle there of Bloodwave's spin in his fight with Bambino, and just pushed way too aggressively. Now Mildy and Rigo in front, and that 19-point gap to the AlphaTauri for the back marker of the constructors is seemingly more and more possible as we go through. Rigo needing a couple more errors from people, though, to make it the 19 if was able to hold on to third. But it's still inside DRS. We're on lap 8 of 29. Virtual safety car just neutralized it, saved their tires a little bit. And here we go again. Nobody fell for the Delta, so we've got no drive-throughs, which is probably a good thing, but it looked like Mildy in 9th has had an awful restart. And it doesn't look like Erms is much better here. And with 67% ERS. BR4 54, and Mitchell barely used any. Mitchell just letting him tow him along by the looks of it at this point in time. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think that is PSV. It is PSV. BR4's had a problem there. BR4's gone very wide, and conceded that position at and doesn't have any DRS whatsoever, so this is Mitchell's chance. Mitchell, if he doesn't get boxed in here, might be able to do something against BR4. The championship battle is going to continue on, and they're going to go too wide through the chicane, and championship rivals 3rd and 4th at the moment, fighting it out. They're both going to get DRS this time on Erminator, who's in 2nd place. And it looked like the Alfa Romeo on the inside line going to be able to protect from the Ferrari for just a little while longer. And is able to hold on to 3rd, even after another mistake has dropped him from 2nd position. As BR4 looks to close in that 10-point gap that currently precedes itself in the championship. There's a yellow flag for a Red Bull out on track. The hairpin spinning there. And there's a few guys here that have not enjoyed this whatsoever. Namely everyone from PSV back. We've got two trains forming. The 2nd, 3rd and 4th train here, which is 3.2 seconds off the back of Paulie Orange and has a lot of work to do. And then the train from Alu backwards to Mildy, which is a little bit broken up by Rigo no longer being in Swen's DRS, which might leave them, Rigo vulnerable to an attack here. Nothing happened in the chicane here. Let's see if Swen's going to be able to do anything on Alu. He isn't, and Rigo not able to do anything. Well, able to hold himself from Mildy, and back into DRS he goes. Yellow flag in sector 2 is PSV, as Bloodwave and PSV are just trading spins at the moment. That's however that resulted in damage. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it. Got a few people really on the back of other cars here within an overtaking shot in the next DRS zone at the very least. If they're able to hold themselves close enough, and in comes Alu. Alu's going to come in onto the hard tyre now. He's done 10 laps on medium tyres. So, I think Alu's chose now is the right time to go onto those those white wall tyres. We've got a battle still ensuing between the three at the front, minus Paulie Orange. Three is second, third, and fourth. Is probably a better way of saying that. And it doesn't look like BR4 is closing a lot into Terminator's gap at all. It just dropped within half second now. Managed to go 11 laps and hasn't really shown signs of spinning either, so we might have something from him today. Yellow flag in sector 1 is an AlphaTauri. I think that might be a bit of a problem there. For Mieszko, he just carried into the second corner, into the wall at second corner. We've still got maybe 4 or 5 battles going out on track. Swen and Rigo, one of them, and Erm's coming to pit. So Erm deciding at the end of lap 11 that pitting now would be a good time, and now after a yellow flag in sector 3 goes to PSV again. Mildy coming as well onto the hard tyre. People starting to make the executive decisions of going in, getting their pit stops out the way early. And now the Alfa Romeo may be left to an attack by the Ferrari. Down the straight we go. He tries to break the toe, and he comes back onto the racing line, so his move is done. And Mitchell's going to pull alongside into the chicane. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 again. And the BR4 is going to keep himself in there, but he's not going to be able to keep himself in front. But he's going to get DRS to have a second shot. A second chance of retaking this position. Mitchell comes over to close the door. And championship rivals fighting it out pretty respectfully here. We've seen in ALR, prior championship battles can get very heated between the championship protagonists very quickly. Yellow flag in sector 1 is Mieszko again. There's BR4 and Mitchell here. Mitchell's coming in, and BR4 is going to do the same. Mitchell's getting 3 seconds for inside of the pit lane. And track limits is going to be what might dig Mitchell's grave here. Paulie Orange comes in as well. So Heidenberg stays out on the medium tyres. Can't be that much longer before he does eventually come in. Everyone else starting to move on to the hard tyres now. Yellow flag in sector 3. Is that Bloodwave? Bloodwave, yeah, on the final corner, he's binned it. It doesn't look like he got damaged, but it looked like he might have slightly got away with it. Alu's going to get out in front of Swen. And, well, Rigo's lost out there. Rigo's lost out a lot. Mildy's even got in front of him now. And is there any front wing on that Mercedes? No, there isn't. There isn't even a front wing on that Mercedes. Ouch. That's a problem. Well, here we go. Back to Mitchell and BR4, both within half a second from when I actually joined this battle again. Yellow flag in Sector 3 is Mieszko again. Mieszko has not had a nice time in this race whatsoever. It's about to be lapped by Bambino and Heidenberg as they round the hotel section now. BR4 and Mitchell still going at it. Mitchell obviously had the 3-second penalty now, which might drop him off the podium come the end of the race. Mieszko has retired from the session after going into the pits, and that's probably been coming for quite a while, and Bloodwave span it again. This has not been a good day for a number of people here. BR4, 7/10, he's losing time to the Ferrari in front. Got to pick it up. Got to pick up the speed. Sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Heidenberg coming out of the pits now. Might be actually behind people like Alu. He is going to be behind people like Alu. How many people further back is he going to be behind? He's also behind Sven. Maybe Mildy as well. Bloodwave gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. And yeah, his race is as good as done at this point. Without a safety car. And it looks like Heidenberg was able to hold out. Yellow flag is in Sector 1 and 2 for the game, letting Mieszko retire. So we're down 3 after, well, almost the halfway point. We actually are in the halfway point now. And, well, BR4 is still tagging himself on the back of Mitchell. Mitchell not able to break that second gap. But, which probably will come back to haunt him later on. Unless, obviously, someone like or BR4 themselves were to get a penalty. Last thing. Oh, Mitchell going very wide there. Carrying the speed for sure, but definitely getting a warning for doing so. Paulie Orange has set the fastest lap of the race. Bambino will come in about 3 or 4 lap time, maybe. Or attempt to go to softs. Maybe bargain on the late safety car. We're down to 13. We start at 16. And Rigo behind Bloodwave. We're actually going to go to that because that looks like that's close. Also, Mitchell has actually broke the second barrier to BR4 now, and that might open the door for the time to start flooding in between those two, but we'll wait and see. And Rigo just not able to do anything against Bloodwave yet. After Rigo's pit stop. And it looked like Bloodwave has just gone very deep. He has, and now they're going to go alongside each other, and Bloodwave's not going to have the tools to defend this, I don't think. He's actually going to defend it pretty nicely right now. He's going to hold that position going into the first of the hairpins, and... Oh! Rigo's gone slidey! Rigo has gone slidey. And that's, I guess, why he's not able to take Bloodwave. Mildy closing in on Heidenberg as well. Sven closing in on Alu. These two are the only ones actually within DRS range in the top 10. And doesn't involve Rigo sliding, which we just showed you. When DRS is in play, it might be a couple of battles to look out for. As we slowly head toward the latter stage of this race. And as it stands, you've got Paulie Orange first by 3.8 seconds to Bambino still has to pit. Yellow flag, which means Rigo has had a little bit of a moment again and drops to the back of the grid entirely, and Mildy not able to do anything against Heidenberg here, who is slowly but surely dropping off the back of Sven. 1.8 seconds, actually that time's come down 0.3 of a second since the start of that chicane. Sven going against Alu, maybe he might be able to get close enough. Not quite close enough to make something, or an attempt on an overtaker on Alu. But as it stands, the championship gap is going to decrease for the drivers, but the constructors might go in the opposite direction. Heidenberg not really doing an awful lot, but he is closing in on Sven. And if he can get close enough to Sven, he might be able to make something happen. Sven at the same time trying to make something happen on Alu. We've come to your regularly scheduled broadcast of the middle 20 laps not really having an awful lot to them. Seemingly come accustomed to that recently, but here we go. Maybe Sven might be able to provide some overtaking entertainment with DRS here. He's going to go the long way round on Alu, but he's going to get it done before the corner, so going the long way wouldn't even matter. Alu's going to get DRS down the straight here, maybe a chance to immediately fight back, but Sven made a decent move, got it done early, and has managed to hold the position as well up to 60 goes. Alu's going to fight it back. Sven not really holding that, well, not really defending that position all that spectacularly. Oh, he wasn't through the hairpin, but since that point, seemingly picked it back up. And picked it back up with a good almost half-second gap, or was almost half-second gap to Alu. And Bambino finally comes in to pit onto the medium tyre, the reverse of what pretty much everyone else did. And we'll see whereabouts he comes out. Maybe it's on the back of this train. It is going to be on the back of this train. Maybe in the middle of this train, actually. Yeah, it's actually going to be in the middle of this train. He's parked himself between Mildy and Heidelberg. And on fresh medium tyres that will definitely be able to carry to the end, Bambino might be able to make his way through some people here. Heidenberg not getting DRS and quite frankly not getting anywhere when it comes to closing the gap on the guy in front either. Gap's extended again by about half a second, back up to roughly 1.8 seconds. These three are going to go all out against each other now, and well, Bambino's fresh tyre advantage didn't take long to kick in. He's got Mildy back. Going into the hairpin, I guess next on the list is the Alfa Romeo. Let's see how quickly he's going to be able to do it. Oh, there's a yellow flag, sector 3, and Alu's gone round. Oh, and that's not good news for the Ferrari constructors' hopes. It's great news if you're the Alfa Romeo. Mitchell also 0.3 of a second behind who's tailed off behind Paulie Owens right now, and BR4 1.8 seconds behind Mitchell might need to get a move on to hold that 3-second gap. Someone else has gone. Mildy in the wall. Mildy into the wall off turn 1. Got too much curb. Also probably got too much throttle, and now they're going to take that position back. But these guys are trading spins like there's no tomorrow. Everyone at the back seems to be trading spins. Bloodwave gets 3 seconds for track limits, and Bambino's going to have a go at Heidenberg here, and he's going to get it done, I would assume, relatively early. Bloodwave gets the fastest lap. It looks like Bambino, even with the fresher tyres, is not even going to get it done at all. Meanwhile, what about Mitchell and as they go within 0.2 of a second with each other? It doesn't look like it's enough, so we'll quickly switch back to this battle between Heidenberg and Bambino. It looks like Bambino's able to make it stick this time. I'm surprised he didn't get it down the straight. That would have been where I would have guessed he would have got it. DRS helped and the better tyres compared to the Alfa Romeo, but does eventually get it done before the lap comes to a close. He is 1.7 seconds now behind Sven. Currently sits in 5th after the spins for Mildy and Alu. Mildy seemingly not being able to rectify any mistakes. And it's 2.1 seconds now, 2.2 seconds now between Mitchell and BR4. That championship battle is one that we're well and truly going to keep an eye on. Main thing that keeps going on a Thursday night. The title battles have definitely been good over recent years. We've definitely seen our fair share of things go right to the end. How about Mitchell and here? Mitchell not able to do anything there. Not able to get with the DRS. Maybe with a second helping of it, he might be able to pressure the Mercedes into a mistake. The Mercedes usually error prone, but tonight proving why he is not that error prone in the Middle East apparently. But only the Middle East. Everywhere else I think DNF'd. It's just Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi is realistically being able to hold its own. Keep the car on track as well. Bambino very much close Swen in, and that was a very, very quick charge down of Swen in 5th, and 9.3 seconds with 8 laps to go after this. If he can get it done quick, he might be able to have a shot at BR4. It would be a very long shot, like an extremely long shot, but it could happen. I've seen it happen before. BR4's seemingly stuck about 2.1 seconds behind Mitchell at the moment, but he's not going to care an awful lot with that. Still a close in on the gap. Yellow flag in sector 3, the Mercedes, and it's not this time. It's Rigo, which is also normally scheduled when it comes to spins. Here comes Bambino on Swan, and Bambino seems to have a setup with a little bit too much downforce for the straights, because he is not able to do anything with DRS down that particular straight. Rigo gets 3 seconds of track limits, and here comes Bambino properly, seemingly like in this straight for overtakes rather than the one that precedes it. And up to 5th he goes, 9.5 seconds, and he has a long way to go. It's possible, but one thing's for sure, he's got to get a move on. Being that much quicker than BR4 over a 7 lap period is not an easy feat by any stretch of the imagination. Got 3 people within DRS at the moment. BR4 seemingly able to hold that gap. He even shrunk it by about 0.3 of a second in the last couple of corners. Only 2 people now within that DRS range. Mitchell on and Mildsy here on Alu. The Williams and the Ferrari are going to go at it. Mitchell down to the straights. Not able to do anything, so we're going to continue to watch this until that gap between Terminator and Mitchell starts to deteriorate. Deteriorate enough by the corner that we might see something happen. It doesn't look like we're going to get anything into the hairpin between the two of them either, so we're going to watch the battle here between Mildy and Alu. Mildy of which decided not to attempt something there. I'm going to get the second helping of DRS and maybe plans to do something about it here, but I think he might be too far back by this point to make anything happen. He is. And it's back to we'll watch the battle for second at the moment. BR4 1.9 seconds. It's lost a 10th, but still within that gap. That gap is well and truly something that BR4 wants to hold. I don't think BR4 cares how he does it. But from now to the end of the season, he just needs to beat Mitchell. If he beats Mitchell in every race, then it would be hard in theory, with how good those two are, for Mitchell to win this championship. However, that's theory, and, well, we never usually see things play out to what we think will happen. BR4, 2.3 seconds now, and Bambino cut an entire second out the deficit. But he's got to get a move on now. He's got to get a move on quicker than that. I don't think that's going to be enough, given the amount of laps left, to even be in with a shout. Oh, there goes We knew it was coming at some point. We knew it was coming at some point. And it finally came on lap 23. He's not impervious to errors in the Middle East. And for what was going so well, it's gonna, well, end in no podium heartbreak here for him because he's way too far back now. BR4 1.2 seconds, and Mitchell has no hold up this time, so we'll see what really is able to happen between the two of them as BR4 looks to take second on the grid. I think first is well and truly squared away for Paulie Orange unless he makes a mistake. Whilst entirely possible, not usually what we're accustomed to for Paulie Orange. Mistakes are few and far between. BR4 not really able to hold himself within that second. And might be possible that Mitchell might start opening that gap up once again. Mitchell 21% to BR4's 8% on the ERS. So, and there's 3 seconds for Jaguar. Having a mistake, it's a costly mistake. 6 seconds now behind BR4, and will well and truly leave himself open to Bambino's advances at the end of the race. But with what, 5 laps of the race left to go, the most interesting thing that's happening in this race now is Mitchell able to beat out that 3-second gap that he has to pull to BR4, or is BR4 going to close that gap for 3 points down? 3 points further down, shall I say? It'd be a 7-point gap going into Singapore next week. It's 1.1 seconds, and given that it was 2.3 seconds before span, Mitchell doesn't seem to have the same pace he once did. Here comes Bambino on as well. Erm's race has just been turned upside down with that mistake. Too much throttle too soon, and well, when you do that, you're usually made to pay the price. Oh, there might be a little bit of a tap. We heard the noise, so it was a little bit of a tap from Bambino on here, and he's going to get the license with the DRS and the ARS to just flat out go past here, and he should get it done. Even though is going to hold himself in alongside, he's not going to really put up an awful lot of a fight once we actually hit the hairpin, and Bambino is up to 4th, 7.5 seconds. And whilst he is eating chunks into BR4's time, he's not doing it quick enough. As for people left in DRS, we have one person. You would suspect that BR4's not going to force anything if he doesn't have to now, as we are rapidly heading towards the end of the race, and well, it doesn't look like we're getting a safety car to bail anyone out on this occasion. Looks like Heidelberg was almost within DRS range of Swen for a split second there, but Millsy actually is. So, oh, there's 3 seconds for PSV, which means all the guys at the back currently have penalties. Everyone from 10th down. And 9th and 8th are both going to have a pretty decent battle, I think, going into the last couple of laps. It's 1.2 seconds now between Mitchell and BR4 elsewhere on the grid. Here comes with the DRS. He's not using the ERS to go alongside. Yellow flag in sector 1 is a Red Bull, and Bloodway's gone round again. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact between Mildy and Alu there. And then the yellow flag again. I think that's PSV's turn, and they're just going one by one through that corner. It's who can make the biggest mistake. Alu's been Erm's gone again. Erm has spun again, and well, he his first mistake was very clearly opening the floodgates for a couple more to come in this race. Much like Millsy's in the last couple, marred by mistakes on what could have been greatness. But instead, turned out he's going to get the points, but he's not going to be able to get an awful lot of points. Heidenberg closing down on Sven, and it's certainly advantage Alfa Romeo in the Constructors' Championship today. Alu and Millsy, I assume, a little bit of an incident there might go to the stewards if Millsy thought he was impacted enough. But BR4 now within DRS of Mitchell, and I don't think, well, Mitchell's only going to lose a place from it. I don't think he's able to do an awful lot about it at this point. 0.6 of a second, and well, it's usually hard to break the DRS here regardless. And there's another DNF. PSV has called it quits on the race on lap 27, but he did it in the pits, so there's no late safety car either. Still a few fights going on. BR4 going to fight with Mitchell, but I don't think he's going to realistically do anything drastic. If he does and makes a mistake, then that's could be a very, very costly championship mistake. Alu closing in on Terminator now as well, so we've got a three-way trade going there, so Millsy's chance at passing Alu might have just disappeared. Heidenberg closing in on Sven, but not really enough to make anything happen here, and as I thought, BR4's not really forcing anything up front. I have a funny feeling BR4's only going to do anything if he can do it in the safest way possible. And that gap is coming down. Paulie Orange must have had a mistake of some sort, because that gap is halved. It's 2.6 now, and I don't think it's any, well, without another mistake, it's certainly not enough for those two behind to start fighting him, but it's mistakes he would probably want to avoid nonetheless, especially if BR4 thinks he can win the race. Irma's gone again. Oh, he's had a bit of a wobble at the very least, and it's allowed for Millsy and Alu to go on through, and they're going to have their fight on the final lap once again. Heidenberg and Sven are also going to have a final lap battle. BR4 within 4.5 tenths, but something tells me that's just going to play out as it already is. We get the worst camera angle of all time between Sven and Heidenberg going through turn 1. Millsy and Alu still fighting out as well. BR4 sitting about 6 tenths and now has DRS, and I can't imagine he does anything here. He might gonna get close. He's certainly gonna get close. So the gap has reopened up between Paulie Orange and Mitchell. And here we go. Is anything gonna happen between Heidenberg and Sven here? Is Sven gonna hold on for a top 5? Is he really gonna do it? Or is Heidenberg gonna steal that one away from him? BR4 within 1/4 of a second, and honestly, those two might actually go at it. But we'll watch Heidenberg. The yellow flag in sector 3 is a Mercedes, but I think that's Rigo. It is Rigo, and the battle here, Millsy and Alu going at it. There's battle literally all over the place, but Paulie Orange is over the line. And Paulie Orange is going to make it the trifecta. He's made it free on the season in Abu Dhabi. And that was quite literally as dominant as it could possibly get from start to finish. And no real challenge whatsoever. And it was the McLaren's day. Qualified on pole. He won the race, and he never really had any sort of challenge to go with it. BR4 does actually close the gap to Mitchell in the championship down to, I believe, 7 points. As we head into Singapore next week, we could have a fairly interesting last couple of races. Mitchell in third. Bambino comes in fourth after taking advantage of people spinning in front of him. Sven does eventually get the 5th place. He holds on and he's going to be probably ecstatic with that. Heidelberg gets 6th in a great day for the Alfa Romeos. Mildy going to get 7th, Alu 8th in a day that Ferrari probably don't want to remember anytime soon. And further down the grid, the rest of them will definitely just want to erase this from their minds. I see you didn't crash and I was fast. You didn't DNF. You did crash. You did spin, sorry. I'll put it spin, I'll be kind to you. That's free. Is Poly Orange going to do it? Let's have a look. Should get 3, yeah. Or 2 at the very least. And there you go. Well, look at that. Penalties galore in a massively jumbled up grid, but Poly Orange from first to first in... believe, well, he didn't lead every lap of the race, so it's not quite the Grand Slam, but it is as close as he's gonna get. And well, Sven obviously having a good day in himself as well. So there are probably very, very polarizing very, very polarizing days for some people here. Good day for the Alfa Romeos. BR4 is going to be happy with the fact that he has in fact closed that gap a little bit closer. And the guy at the back is one for them to forget. But we'll try and see if we can get interviews with a couple of people. I am in the party for them. Yeah, I'm in the party for them. Well, got BR4 for an interview on the final round. Oh, that could be interesting. BR4 just said he's going to do an interview on the final round. Oh, that could be one hell of a party atmosphere after that one. But
hang on.
Is there a Min here?
No.
Why isn't he? I thought he should be. Let me have a look. Should be in here. If not, then I'll invite him now. Yeah, he's in here already. That proves it. Right, Mitchell, talk us through that one then, lad. Let's start with you. We'll go to him afterwards.
Just annoyed. Just annoyed. I think I could have got P2 because I got a warning which was in the pit lane for some reason, which caused the 3-second penalty.
That happens when you cross the line in Abu Dhabi. The white line.
It's so weird. Yeah, but I touched the curb on the right hand side, you know, the normal curb, and boom, warning. So I think I could have appealed that because that is such a random ass warning.
We had 2 booms.
Yeah, and then I was in the party with Ismail, and mid-corner Ismail tells me, oh, he has his overtake on for some reason. It was like, oh, and then half a second later you lose the car. Rock's sake. I couldn't react to it, I'm sorry.
And that's again the same thing as in the Netherlands in sprint. I just had my ERS on.
Yeah.
Like, so stupid.
I couldn't react to it, and I got yellow front wing from it, so it was kinda okay apart from the final corner. The final corner I lost 4/10 every lap.
Any corner above 5th gear I was struggling with my rear wing.
Oh, did you get damage after rear wing?
I had an orange rear wing.
Oh, great.
Like, I saved it even, and then...
Yeah, you saved it, and then I hit you, yeah.
And then I got the orange wing, and I spun a few more times.
Also, I was very annoyed with you the first then. I was screaming, just go past, he's slow, go! God damn it, man. I played it perfectly as well. I overtook BR4 after you pitted, you know, closed you down, got rid of BR4.
I'm gonna pit, and that's what happened.
Yeah, but it was a straightforward pass because I had quite some overspeed. Oh well. Like I said, damage limitation, he gains 3 points. I hope I will extend next week.
Yeah, I was about to ask that for the final 3 races. You're looking to just win? Are you looking to like extend on all 3, or did a couple damage limitation all there?
No, Japan will be damage limitation. I'm looking to extend my podium run around Singapore and Jeddah. This should be very easy possible. Strong tracks for me, so.
Fair enough. And well, do you think you even need to go to Japan at all then for the championship?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not good. That's a very dirty question. I'm not gonna say that.
You led me straight into that one. That's fair.
Yeah.
But congrats on your podium, lad.
That's like saying you won the league in January. It's only 7 points. We'll see what happens.
Talk us through your race about everything up until your first spin.
Well, for me it was also damage limitation. I saved the front wing, the floor, the tires, the chassis. Only the rear wing got damaged. Like, it's an upgrade, you know? Damage limitation, purely. I mean, qualifying, firstly in the practice, yesterday my setup was awful. And then I did something after work today and it worked somehow. And then in the practice now, before the race, I was like doing a 23.5, which I think is quicker than my time trial lap, so something happened. And
no, you have a 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, not even close then.
I don't know, it just felt much better. Then the start was good. I didn't lose anything, and then I was just behind BR4. That was quite a painful experience, because he was really slow in the first stint.
Yeah,
But I didn't want to overtake him. I wanted to get the DRS the whole time. And I was like, the slower I drive, the lower are the chances that I crash. And then I undercut both of them to gain a bit of time, and like I got them both out of the DRS window, so I could just drive a bit. but then Mitchell was quicker, of course, and we gained on poorly orange. We were like so much quicker.
We were so much quicker. Like he was probably cruising, but I was gaining on him with my yellow front wing.
We would have gotten him.
Yeah, we would have definitely gotten him.
Oh,
And then it happened.
Yeah. And now the obvious question I'm going to ask: talk us through everything that happened about that spin, and then further on, could you?
Mitchell is 3/10 behind me. Like I'm gonna die here, and overtake button on, everything on, like mode 7, going, and then turning in. Oh no, I didn't turn it off. It may also be that my button is broken because I'm quite sure I turned it off. But it might be everything. And then I just tap the gas and it's go. Oh no! And then I correct it. And I save it, and I'm like, oh my goodness me, I haven't saved a spin since January 2019. And now I do it perfect. And then it's like, boom. And I spin. Wow, I have an orange wing. It's amazing. I lose 2 places, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try. And then under the hotel, I almost lose it again. It's like horrific with an orange wing. Anything above the 4th gear, you spin. And then I spun 2 times, lost 5 places, finished 9th, got points. I'm the GOAT. I got the points with no rear wing, so only Fangio and me can do that. And then that's it. But I may I sing the anthem? That's not German anthem, but the British anthem.
Go on.
You know that we had this.
There may or may not be an idiot last week that already sang an anthem, but
Hold on. Can I just ask one more question? Because it does pretend to the actual championship itself.
Try.
You have a lot of pace in the Middle East for some odd reason that I don't know how you do it. Do you think that, obviously knowing that we're going to Saudi Arabia later and that's your best track that I know of, do you think you could potentially play spoiler in this championship fight?
Yeah, I have human rights. It's just like that. I mean, no, I now have time to practice for races, and this was the first race I practiced for. And I think I can do a race without spinning. But... yeah, high hopes for Singapore, no hopes for Japan because I hate that track. Or at least I hated it last year. But, yeah.
Fair enough.
Can I sing now?
Yep.
Yes.
Take it away.
Okay, give me a few seconds to prepare.
I'll let you sing this and then hide the stream off. This is how we're going out.
Yes. Wait, I can also turn this on. Oh
God.
Oh God. Jesus Christ almighty. I just got...
What are the lyrics? Shit.
He just missed the start.
Queen. Yes, good job, Lewis and Lando. Yeah, they're singing for me. Amazing.
Oh, go on then.
It's not even the right. It's not even the right one.
Yeah, I'm not updated. I'm still in Windows 10. Stop it.
It's just the same. It's just
King. I'm gonna start singing about Meghan Markle. Like, stop. Enough.
That's very poor. Very poor.
That's going on the bloopers at the end of the season. That.
That's worse than mine. I tried at least, you know.
Yours will go on the hype reel, and this will just be in the bloopers because I don't know what the hell that was just. Jack, you don't need to clip it. It's on the stream. You do not need to clip it.
You think I can do Italian, mate? Fuck off.
Oh yes. Wait. But, of course, yes.
At the same time. At the same time.
No, not again. I had my solo.